Okay, this is a tutorial for how high school teachers can use Examview to find cold reads. So first of all, Examview, if you go down to the Office button, what I like to do is I like to pin it up here so it's easier to find. So go to All Programs, and then under Applications, Examview Pro, and then you want Test Generator. And if I right click on this, I can, I already have it pinned, but you have the option to pin to Start menu, and once you click that, it will be right there. Okay, so you open up Examview. The very first time you open it, it's going to have you register, and you just fill out your name and your school. I just fill out my name and the school district, but I don't register online. Okay, then every other time you open it, you'll get this screen, and you want to create a new test using the wizard. Type a test title, or let me do unit, I don't know, 1. Okay, unit 1 academic assessment. Next. Okay, and here's where you have to click on this folder here. You want to go to the R drive, and you want to click on the triangle by that. So R drive, and then you want high school, language arts, and let's just say English 2. And then there's a lot of options. You want to go down to teacher, and then you want to go down to Examview. Okay, and now here's options, and these are from the textbook. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so you have grade 10 benchmark items. That's an okay place to start. You have the practice assessment test. These are in the textbook at the end of each unit. You have the selection test. The selection tests, these are specific to the piece of literature. So this would not be a cold read, but this is a good place to look for quizzes. You have tax practice, which the questions aren't that great, but the reading selections are. You have the unit tests, which are probably where I would start. And then you have older archived items. This is from the old textbook that we had. I would play around with some of these things. Probably not the selection test, but play around just to get like the tax practice, just because it'll give you good reading selections. So I would start with a unit test, and then hit select. And it's going to give me each unit in the textbook. It's going to give me a test A, and that would be more for your academic kids, and then a test B, C, which would be more pre-AP. At least the questions are geared that way. So let's say I'm looking, and I know that I really like unit 1. I'm going to see what they have there. So I hit select, and it moves it down to here. And let's say I also know that unit 8 has some good selections that I know I want something similar to those. You're not going to get the same thing, but something similar. So I'm going to hit select. So right now I'm going to be looking at 2 question banks, unit 1 and unit 8. There's 87 questions available. So let me hit next. Here's where you can choose. You can do multiple choice, short answer, and essay. So I'm going to pick all of the multiple choice, and then I'm going to weed out what I don't like. And I'm going to pick all of the short answer, and I'm going to weed out what I don't like. I'm not going to pick any essays for this example. So I'm going to hit next, and it tells me what I have, and then I hit finish. Okay? So now if I'm looking at the assessment that's been built, this tells me looks like a fiction passage. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so it's a paired passage. And then a visual representation. Okay. So then the questions that go with it, I can look at and decide, with my team if I like them, if we like them or not, if we want to reword them. Obviously, since this is 79 questions, I want to take it down a lot. I'm just scrolling through to see. Okay, so then here's a short response. Okay. Now, if I get to a point, let me just show you some tricks with Examview. Let's say I know that I don't want anything with revising and editing. I just click on it, then I right-click, delete. Do you want to remove the narrative? The narrative is this part. It's the passage part. So yes. But now still, I still have all the questions that go with the narrative. So if I right click, I kind of have to just, it takes a little bit of time, but I have to delete the questions that I don't like. Okay, so I would go through and delete what I don't like. I would read through them all. Maybe I like this passage better. This is probably from that second unit. So some cold reads, others a Poe passage. And then questions that go with that. Let me scroll down to the very bottom. On the last page, you're going to have all the answers. And what's neat about this is that when you have the answers here, if you take off a question, it automatically updates it for you. Okay. Alright, so let me show you a couple Examview tricks. Let me scroll all the way back up to the top. My computer's, can't see the very end, so I have to scroll. Okay, just a couple things with Examview. You can change the header on the footer on every page. If you like to have different versions of the test, there's a way to do that. So for example, this one says IDA. So when I go to File, Print Test, I can print up to 6 versions, well, up to however many, but 6 versions, however many classes you have of the test. So if that's something that interests you, that's there. So you need the ID if you're going to print different versions. But let's say I like to change the header on the first page. It's always going to default to this unless you change it. If you decide that you want to change it, you can change it and hit record. So that'd be the first page header, and then the header on all the pages after. I usually just take that off, but that's just me. And then whatever you want to do, you hit record. Let's see, what else? Font. You can change the font easily by going to File. No. By going to Test. No. By going to Edit. And then Replace Font. You can find all the fonts and change them with a bigger size if you need a modified version. There's also a way, it just hit me, there's also a way to take off one answer selection. I'm trying to find where that is. Maybe test version. No. I'm going to find it. And now you see my thought process as I'm trying to find it. I wonder if it's when I printed the test. So if I print new, edit, preferences, new, oh, here it is, under questions, and then adjust choices and columns. You can reduce there it is, reduce choices down to 3, or you can make it have different columns, whatever you want to do. So you can modify the test easily that way. So that was under, where was it, under question, and then adjust choices. So another thing, if you are doing this ahead of time before teaching the unit, which is where it should be done, you can send this to Print Shop. Now if you send it to Print Shop, you have to send it as a PDF, right? Unfortunately, you can't export this. You can't export it as a PDF, which is kind of a good thing, because if you were to do that, you would also export this page with the answer choices. So, 2 things I would recommend. What I always used to do was I would print this out from Examview, and then I would just scan it in using the Xerox machine. I would scan in what I need, those pages, and then that would save as a PDF and send that. Or you can export this as a Word document, rich text format. The only problem with doing that is that it does change up the formatting a little bit, and then you can't do some of the things that I just showed you, like eliminating an answer choice, or changing the header, or doing different versions of the test. So that is how you do it, and good luck. Let me know if you have questions. Bye.